Trade, socio-economic and cultural threads tie the bonds of India and Uzbekistan. The attempts to identify these historical relations are bound to make the relationship between the two nations stronger. The links established between India and Uzbekistan can be said to have been ancient, and there were constant efforts made throughout the history to revive these links. The found literary sources and antiquities prove that the relationship were certainly intense during the Scythians, Huns, Kushan, Timurid. Following the chronological order, it was Babur, who belonged to Andijan, a famous city of Uzbekistan, became the first Mughal emperor of India in 1526 CE. Ever since, the relationship between the two cultures have been witnessing flowering in the form of aesthetic and literary forms. The presentation attempts to explore the Indo-Uzbek shared cultural aspects as they are reflected in the rarest of the manuscript of National Museum collection. The Indian soul has served itself as a paradigm for cultural blending. The receptivity for the other cultures and the need to preserve them alongside its own has been a longer concern for India. If we take stock of the cultural legacy of Uzbekistan, we find several art objects like manuscripts, paintings, textiles, coins, and other forms of artifacts of Uzbekistan preserved in the different museums, libraries, archives of India. These are the main sources which speak itself about the flourishing of Uzbek heritage in Indian soul. They are testimonies of how Indian art and Uzbek art blended their aesthetics, giving way to new techniques, color pigments, scripts to create a unique form of art. National Museum India houses some of the rarest of the manuscripts that reflect the Uzbek synthesis in Indian historic, literary, and aesthetic tradition. A large of these manuscripts are preserved and cherished as they enrich the National Museum collection and a study of manuscriptology as a field. These manuscripts offer themselves to the study of religion, literature, history, medicine, astronomy, metaphysics, philosophy, biography, geography, mathematics, and several other subjects. The opening of the medieval era in India saw the synthesis of Indian cultural values with that of the Uzbek influence. The coming together of India and Uzbek as cultures resulted in proliferation of arts and emergence of new forms of aesthetics. As far as the creation of the manuscript are concerned, it reached its zenith and created unparalleled aesthetic standards. These manuscripts are indeed reflection par excellence of the glorious medieval India in dialogue with Uzbek culture. Broadly speaking, for the sake of categorizing, these manuscripts may be divided into the following groups: the manuscript written by Uzbek scholars and inscribed by Indians, the manuscript inscribed and illustrated by Uzbek scholars in India. The following manuscripts are the specimen of masterpieces showcasing the glimpses of Uzbek and Indian culture. Baburnama is an objective and fruitful record of events of personal life of the author. It is a mine of information containing the history of Central Asia, Afghanistan, and India. It reflects the character and interest of the author Zahiruddin Muhammad Babur, the founder of the Baburi dynasty in India. He was a man of indomitable will, a great soldier, an inspiring leader. Moreover, he was a man of letters with fine literary taste. He was poet of Persian as well as Turkish language. Being a calligrapher, he had invented a new script called Khatte Baburi. Historians have quoted his couplets in support of their points of view. He used to keep a record of his daily activities in the form of diary. He used to write his memoirs and continued the practice till the last day of his life. Gulbadan Begum, the author of Humayunama, narrates that once a storm blew up the folios of his memoirs, which he himself gathered painfully and dried them up out throughout the night. One of the most executive possessions of the manuscript collection of National Museum India is this extremely beautiful copy of Quran called Mushti due to its small size. It is written on a very thin paper sprinkled with gold. Decorated in the Mughal school style, the first 2 pages are embellished with gold, red and ultramarine pigment with floral pattern. This Quran was inscribed by the court calligrapher Hafiz Abdullah, better known as Baqi al-Haddad. Abul Fazl recorded that he was a specialist in the minute Naskh script, and there was no equal for him to write this kind of minute Naskh scripts. It is worth to see it. It is very tiny manuscript which you can hold in your hand, and it is one of the rare examples of the minute Naskh calligraphy. This is an outstanding copy of the Holy Quran made in Reshmi Kagaz, silk paper known as Samarkandi paper, and profusely decorated and illuminated all over. The manuscript begins with the 2 highly decorated shamsha. The following 2 pages and salillah are decorated with intricate floral pattern in gold and lapis. After the Quranic text in the end, there are 6 pages dedicated to prayers and astrological accounts. The Quran is highly illuminated with gold and lapis lazuli. Its cover page bears ornamental depiction of the seals of the Mughal emperors Shah Jahan and Aurangzeb. These are the 2 seals of Shah Jahan, one of Shah Jahan and another one is of Aurangzeb Alamgir. And the most important part of this Holy Quran is that one line is written with lapis lazuli and the second line is written with gold. Whole of the Quran is written like this. One line is written with gold, another line is written with lapis lazuli, and the whole copy is like this. The present Shahnama is considered to be one of the oldest known illustrated copy in the world. It was illustrated probably in Bukhara, one of the oldest schools of the miniature painting. The opening leaf of the manuscripts depicts the court of Sultan Mahmud of Ghazna. Seated on his royal throne, the Sultan is being presented the text of Shahnama by Firdausi. The illustration shows the musicians and singers performing their arts. The painting is surrounded by excellent double lapis and gold lines on floral pattern. The next 3 pages are illuminated marvelously with lapis and gold. The inscriptions are surrounded with beautiful design. The text is inscribed in early Nastaliq script, while the headings are written bold Naskh characters. It is an outstanding manuscript on the medicine. It was written by great Tabib Sheikh Abu Ali Sina, one of the greatest physicians in the world. The manuscript is part of Al-Qanun. Colophon describes it as Kitabul Qarabdin min Kitabil Qanun, which means it is part of the great text of Qanun. This manuscript doesn't show any illumination and is mainly text-based. It is an excellent manuscript bearing a number of seals and endorsements. Many sultans and emperors had seen and consulted it time to time, as endorsement indicate that for a long time it was preserved in the royal libraries. This is the manuscript of Jame Tirmizi. Tirmizi, the author, is considered a very learned pillar of the Islamic world and belongs to the famous city of Tirmiz, Uzbekistan. Unfortunately, this manuscript is incomplete and missing colophon has made it full of mysteries. It is largely text-based and does not contain any significant ornamentation. The manuscript is inscribed in early Naskh script. Bayaz is one of the most beautiful manuscripts of National Museum, India. Since the paper used for this manuscript was manufactured in Bukhara, it enjoys a special position amongst other manuscripts. Decorated with gold and lapis lazuli, the sarela of this manuscript shows intricate foliage design. The script of the text is Nastaliq and is written in the Persian language. The last illustration resembles the portrait of Shaybani Khan, seated inside a foliated arch. His turban, attire, and gold buttons on the coat are suggestive of his royalty. The cover page bears the seal of Hamida Bano Begum, wife of Humayun and mother of Akbar the Great. The seal of Hamida Bano Begum is very rare. This is the manuscript of Timur Nama, which recounts the life and times of Amir Timur. It is a unique manuscript of great historical importance. It is authored by Sharfuddin Yazdi. The historical account of Amir Timur was written by various scholars, but Sharfuddin Yazdi's account is the most detailed one. Sharfuddin accounts of Amir Timur is considered to be one of the masterpieces of Persian ornate prose produced during the 9th century and early 10th century. The first 2 folios are highly illuminated and ornate with gold and lapis lazuli. This is an excellent manuscript, high in the quality of its paper, composition, and script. The name of the scribe is Ahmad bin Hassan. This is the copy of the Holy Quran written by one of the Uzbek scholars. The text of this copy of the Holy Quran is written in Naskh style of calligraphy on gold sprinkled paper. The manuscript is embellished with beautiful floral pattern. The first two folios are decorated with floral pattern made in different color. The main text is written in blank ink, while the headings are written in white ink. The name of the scribe is Muhammad Qasim Samarkandi. Here you can see, Harrarahu Azaful Ibad Muhammad Qasim Samarkandi. It is the copy of Jahangir Nama. It is an illuminated manuscript of Tuske Jahangiri bearing a royal seal on first folio. The margins of all the folios are illuminated with birds and flowers made in gold. The central portion is also embellished in gold. The text is inscribed on art paper that was imported from Central Asia. He has penned down all important incident, stories and his personal observation in this tuzuk. These manuscripts reflect epitome of Uzbek culture in relationship to India. These manuscripts deal with a variety of subjects and deserve thorough study to explore their contents further. This presentation is an attempt to bring only the tip of the iceberg into the picture. A deeper study of these manuscripts is bound to broaden the plethora of the existing knowledge about Uzbek culture, medieval India, and evolution and proliferation of sciences, art forms, and aesthetics. Thank you.